Honestly, Emma, your daughter deserved it, Vanessa said, leaning back with a smirk. The principal cleared her throat softly. Before we continue, you both need to see this footage. My name is Rachel. I'm 34 and I'm a single mom working as a paralegal in a small law firm outside Chicago. 4 years ago, my husband passed away, and since then it's just been me and my daughter, Mia. She's 10 now. Everything I do revolves around her. The long hours, the tight budget, the constant balancing act. It hasn't been easy, not even close. But Mia makes it worth it. She's kind in a way that surprises people, quiet but thoughtful, always creating little drawings and stories. In my family, I was never the one anyone noticed. That spot belonged to my younger sister, Vanessa. She was always the favorite, the one they praised, the one who could do no wrong. She married into money, lives in a huge house, and shares perfect snapshots of her life like nothing ever goes wrong. I stayed in the background. I didn't need their approval. I had my daughter, my work, and my sense of right and wrong. I wasn't rich or glamorous, but I had something they didn't expect. I never backed down when it came to my daughter. If you've ever had to protect your child from people who should have loved them, hit that subscribe button. Single parents, I see you. Drop a comment if you know what it's like to stand alone and still stand strong. Let's go. The call came in the middle of my workday. I remember the sound of the office printer humming when my phone rang. It was Mia's school. The nurse sounded urgent. You need to come right now. Mia is very upset. My stomach dropped. I grabbed my bag and left without explaining. The drive felt endless, every red light dragging out the panic building in my chest. When I got there, I found Mia curled up on the nurse's bed, shaking. Her hands were clutching her head. When she looked up at me, I froze. Her hair was gone. Not neatly cut, not trimmed. It was hacked off in uneven chunks, strands sticking out at sharp angles like something had been torn away. Mia, I whispered, dropping to my knees. What happened? She couldn't speak at first, just sobbed. Then finally, through broken breaths, she said, Aunt Vanessa, she said I was showing off. She said I needed to learn a lesson. Everything inside me went cold. Vanessa had been at the school that afternoon, volunteering at the art fair. I stood up, my hands shaking, and demanded answers from the staff. They confirmed she had taken Mia to a quiet room during the event. 20 minutes later, she came back alone. Mia came out after, crying. I called Vanessa immediately. She answered like nothing was wrong. Oh, Rachel, don't be dramatic. It's just hair. It'll grow back. You cut her hair, I said, barely holding my voice steady. She was strutting around, she replied calmly, talking about donating it, making Lily feel bad. She needed humility. You hurt my child because your daughter felt insecure? I did what you clearly can't. You're welcome. Then she hung up. Mia clung to me and whispered, She said I deserved it. That's when the heartbreak turned into something sharper, something that wasn't going to stay quiet. The next morning, I opened the family group chat and felt my chest tighten. Vanessa had already posted. Had to have a tough love moment with Mia yesterday. Rachel's upset, but sometimes kids need boundaries. There were heart emojis everywhere, messages calling her strong, responsible, a good influence. Even my father chimed in. I started typing. I wanted to tell them the truth. But before I could send it, my mom texted me privately. Don't make a scene. Vanessa's stressed. Let it go. I deleted my message, sat there staring at the screen, feeling invisible all over again. At the school meeting later that day, Vanessa arrived polished and calm, holding a folder like she had prepared for court. The principal asked what happened. Vanessa sighed softly. I love Mia, but she's been bullying Lily. I tried to handle it gently. That's not true, I said immediately. She pulled out printed messages, twisted, cropped conversations that made Mia look cruel. I trimmed her hair to teach her consequences, she added. You butchered it, I shot back. Her husband leaned forward. Maybe if Rachel spent less time working, Mia wouldn't act out. That one landed hard. Then came dinner at my parents' house. I almost didn't go, but I didn't want Mia to feel like we were hiding. She sat quietly beside me, her shortened hair framing her face unevenly. Vanessa walked in late, smiling like she owned the room. Halfway through dinner, she said loudly, "I'm glad the school understood my intentions. It's hard being the one who disciplines." My father chuckled. Someone has to keep kids humble. Mia's eyes filled with tears. I stood up. "We're leaving." Vanessa called after me, sweet as ever, "Don't be so sensitive. It's family." But I was done pretending this was normal. Driving home that night, the silence in the car felt heavy. The only sound was the soft hum of the tires on the road and Mia's soft breathing beside me. I couldn't let this go. I wouldn't. What they didn't know was that I had spent years working under one of the sharpest family law attorneys in the state. I knew how people like Vanessa operated. I knew how they twisted stories, how they hid behind charm, and I knew exactly what could break that illusion. Proof. That night, I sent a calm, professional email to the principal requesting access to any security footage from the art fair. My hands were steady as I typed. The reply came the next morning. There might be cameras in the community wing. That was all I needed. I didn't tell anyone, not my family, not even Mia. Instead, I started documenting everything. Screenshots of messages, notes from Mia's therapist, every statement Vanessa had made. At work, my boss noticed the change in me. She said, "Something's going on." I noted. "Family issue." She looked me in the eye. "If you need help, you tell me. No one messes with kids." I thanked her, but this was something I needed to handle myself. Vanessa had spent her whole life thinking she was untouchable. No one ever challenged her. That was about to change. A few days later, my phone rang. It was my cousin Jason, the one everyone in the family quietly dismissed. "I heard what happened," he said. "I believe you." I didn't realize how much I needed to hear that until my throat tightened. He told me he'd seen Vanessa manipulate people for years, that this wasn't new. "If you need me, I'll speak up," he added. For the first time, I didn't feel completely alone. Meanwhile, Vanessa kept going. She posted smiling photos with Lily, writing about teaching humility. People flooded the comments with praise. My mother even sent it to me. I didn't respond. Then the email came. The school had found footage. I scheduled the meeting immediately. Vanessa called me soon after, her voice dripping with fake concern. "I heard you're still pushing this. There's nothing there. You're going to embarrass yourself." "We'll see," I said, and hung up. Jason texted me. "Want backup?" "Soon," I replied. The day of the meeting, I walked in calm. Vanessa sat across from me, scrolling on her phone like this was all beneath her. The principal turned the screen toward us. "You both need to see this." The video started. Vanessa leading Mia down the hallway, smiling. Mia looked unsure, but she trusted her. They disappeared into a room. 8 minutes later, Vanessa walked out alone, scissors in her hand. She glanced around before walking away. 2 minutes after that, Mia stumbled out, crying, clutching her head. The video stopped. Vanessa's face drained of color. "That doesn't show what happened inside," she said quickly. "It shows enough," the principal replied. I leaned forward. "You told everyone she deserved it." Vanessa's voice shook. "I was trying to help." "You hurt her," I said, "and you lied." The principal spoke firmly. Vanessa was banned. A report would be filed. Legal action recommended. Vanessa panicked. "You can't do this. I've done so much for this school." "And you used that access to harm a child," the principal said. I played the recording from my phone. Her own words filled the room. Vanessa broke. "Rachel, please." I stood up. "You're done." That night, I sent everything to the family group chat. No explanation, just the truth. The responses came fast. Apologies, silence, weak excuses. My mother called, crying, "I didn't know." "You chose not to know," I said, and hung up. In the weeks that followed, everything shifted. Vanessa's image cracked. Other stories came out. The restraining order was granted. Mia started to heal. Slowly, she smiled again. One evening, as I brushed her growing hair, she looked at me and asked, "Why did she hate me?" I shook my head gently. "She didn't hate you. She hated that you were brave enough to be yourself." And this time, no one could take that away from her. If someone ever hurt your child and people defended them instead of protecting you, I want to hear your story. Share it in the comments. Subscribe to stand with others who refuse silence. Click hype to help this reach someone who needs strength today. Standing up for yourself is tough. If you've been there, subscribe and become part of our community. Let me know this story helped by clicking hype. And tell me where you're watching from.